On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
What most men talk about is modern women ideology, not necessarily versus traditional in terms of gender roles, but in terms of traditional women.
Pay attention.
On by and large,
watching you.
Are cut it out, Jr. Way more feminine.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Way more feminine than what we see modern women to be today. And so, for what you were saying, for everything that you were saying, then what is the end result? What is the end goal of it all? Right. So most times, again, just again, most time, modern women, like even in this conversation that we were just having, right? Again, I point to the fact that we saw a young lady yesterday, poised, composed, could deliver her argument without over talking, without super aggressive. So when people say, "Oh, you and your masculine energy," women take that as an insult.
In the Victim Olympics, complaining about how because she's a woman and she can't get nothing done and empowered. This is exactly why women shouldn't be in leadership positions in these type of positions.
So then
go ahead,
so do you think that? So if women shouldn't be in leadership positions, then we should have no policies that dictate women's bodies and women's livelihood. How are there not going to be any women in the room, but you're making rules and policy for women or women's bodies, women's choices and what they want to do with their bodies? You have men making decisions about women's bodies or women's reproductive systems, and there's no women in the room. So to say that no women should be in leadership anywhere, it doesn't really make sense to me. Even like when you said earlier, oh, no women should be in the Army. You know, the Army got like attorneys, the Army has doctors, the Army has nurses, the Army is just America that does a specific thing, but there's still people that are necessary for all types of jobs within the Army. Being in the Army doesn't mean you go work on the front line with the rifle. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I get what you guys are saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
Leadership position, but there has to be space for women because you're making laws for women. So there needs to be women in the room.
I mean, I said what I said. I don't have the same respect as for a household that's a married household and it's a man and a woman and the children, and the man defers to the woman and you got to negotiate with the woman of the household versus the men. Like, I'm consistent across the board. I would have a severe lack of respect for a man that says, "Oh, go talk to my wife. She's the head of the household," and then I got to go and kick it with him. So if I don't believe, because I believe that it first starts at home. And I'm sorry, I don't want to derail your conversation. I just got to click on this one. I don't believe, because I believe it starts at home first. You are first the CEO of your household. If you don't have the same level of respect for a woman that's the head of a household, what makes you think I would have the same level of respect of a woman that's running a free world? Never. Ever. No woman should have never. We are so out of place. We are completely out of whack. And this is the reason why everything is going downhill right now. And she is quite possibly, if you're looking at her, because again, I don't care about more women should be in position. I don't care none of that. I don't care none about that equity crap. I don't care about none of that. She is quite possibly the worst vice president of all time to date. And it's a reason for that. And it just so happened to be the woman.
So
I said what I said. Anton, go ahead, Rilla. I don't want to derail Rilla.
Anton, outside of your views of Kamala, which fine, you don't have to like her, whatever. Can you give a concrete reason why you don't think women in general, not her?
No, let's use her. She's the vice president.
No, let's not.
Nope, she was the cited example.
You didn't say
she was the cited example.
But you said women shouldn't. You said
women to her directly, so
I just gave you a perfect example. I don't even have the same respect for a woman that's the head of her household with a man there. So why would I respect a woman as a leader of the free world?
Okay, why don't you
because I believe in gender roles and I believe that the man is the head of the household.
Okay, so you just generally don't think women should be leaders.
I don't generally nothing. You can't compete with me. You're not built to compete with me. Listen,
if you're elected,
wait. You know who the best
is elected. You know how
I don't care about elected. Often at times,
you know how people get elected.
That's mob rule. That don't mean nothing to me. That don't mean she deserves to be in that place.
Okay,
you know who makes the best CEOs? I'm explaining it to you. You know who makes the best CEOs? Engineers. Often at times, engineers become the best CEOs of companies. And most times, if you look across most companies that are successful, they're engineers. You know why engineers are great CEOs? Is because they understand what it means to solve for and build things. We understand the intricate details that go into it. We don't care about your book knowledge. We don't care about how smart you are. We don't care about anything. You ain't even got no skin in the game. You did not build anything that we ultimately use to be successful. You are the beneficiary of men that came before you and then built this country for you. You have no skin in the game
So,
whatsoever.
like, would a
You don't
woman
know what it
engineer be
means.
over you, Anton? Because you're not an engineer.
You're missing what I'm saying. You
I'm
keep trying to
asking
compare. You keep trying to compare apples to oranges.
No, I'm asking you. This is
Nope. I'm
direct.
gonna bring
Should a
this
woman
conversation all the
engineer
way
be
back.
able to be in a
I'm
position
bringing
of
this
power over
conversation.
you since you're
I'm
not an
bringing
engineer?
this conversation full circle, and we're using Kamala Harris as an example. She is quite possibly the worst vice president of all time.
Okay,
but you
and
don't.
that's
But you're.
fine.
But you're going to
Hold on, Kay,
support
hold
her.
on.
No,
You're
I
going to
don't.
support her.
I don't care
You're
about.
going to
I don't
support
care.
her.
I'm asking
You're
you a
going to
question.
support her
No,
because she's a woman.
no.
Okay, but
You
you gotta
don't
let
even
them
know about
finish.
me. You don't know any of it. I'm
But we
asking
got to
you,
let Rilla get back. I'm not. Again,
Anton. Okay,
I preface this by
before,
saying that
please.
Rilla, I didn't want to derail the conversation.
He
I
said
knew
it
it
was
was going to
cool.
kind of derail it.
Rilla
But
just said it
again,
was cool.
I don't believe it.
Rilla said it was cool.
Wait.
So
I
before
didn't say
that,
equality, by the way.
Anton, if there is a
Ultimately, where are
woman
we going with
engineer, do you think that that woman deserves a position of power over you because you're not an engineer?
Most times, no. Most times, no.
Even though you
Yeah,
just
He
said
just he
engineer?
answered. He answered. He answered it, Kay.
Most
He
times,
answered.
Where are
no.
we going with this? Like, to what end are we going with this?
He answered it, Kay.
Look at y'all jumping in, saving. Q, why didn't you tell
No,
us
no,
that?
Saving
I'm
who?
just asking.
Saving who? I said what I said. I said exactly
Why
what
didn't
I
you
said.
stop
I'm not
them?
moving
Like you
from it.
No, they
I
didn't
don't
say
believe
him.
that women
Okay, all
overwhelmingly
right,
need to
it's
be in
all good.
leadership
I'm done.
positions,
I'm not just
including
saving
the
him. They just
leader
want
of
to
the free
move
world.
on.
Yeah,
All right,
they
that's
said
cool.
next
Go ahead.
person.
This is stupid.
So
Nope.
and again, and so this is the thing. And Kayla, when you brought up that, you framed the you framed your point, modern versus traditional, right? And most time in these spaces, what most men talk about is modern women ideology, not necessarily versus traditional in terms of gender roles, but in terms of traditional women
Pay attention.
on by and large
I'm watching you.
are cut it out, JR. Way
Oh, you
more
heard me?
feminine.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Way more
Call
feminine
HR.
than what we see modern women to be today.
Call HR.
And so for what you were saying, for everything that you were saying, then what is the end result? What is the end goal of it all? Right? So most times, again, just again, most time modern women, like even in this conversation that we were just having, right? Again, I point to the fact that we saw a young lady yesterday, poised, composed, could deliver her argument without over talking, without super aggressive. So when people say, "Oh, you and your masculine energy," women take that as an insult.